Tesla's secret master plan that they've had since 2006. Tesla has been very public about their goals and their missions for many years, saying exactly what they're going to do, what they're trying to accomplish, and probably when they're going to get it done. I mean, they do miss the mark on some of them. I mean, we all know about the full self-driving, but that's not the point. They've always been very public about their goals and how they're going to get to them, and they've always wrote it in their plans. So the 2006 master plan that Tesla wrote, it actually all came true, every single one of them. On that list, they had 4 specific goals that they were trying to achieve and conquer. And you know what? They did it miraculously. So number 1 was build a sports car. That was the original Roadster that was released back in the day. I mean, this was when no one even really knew about Tesla or even gave a crap. But they made that one, and it was from the same body as the Lotus company. They used that one and integrated their systems inside and created the original Roadster. And number 2 was to use the money that they got from the original Roadster to build a more affordable car. That was the Model S. And then step number 3 was use that money to build an even more affordable car. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the Model 3. And step number 4 says, while doing above, also provide zero emission power generation options. Basically solar. And all of those steps, they accomplished them amazingly. Funny enough, Tesla almost went bankrupt in the process and went through what Elon called production hell, trying to ramp up the Model 3, which finally launched to market 11 years after writing it in the master plan. Tesla was some small startup and were laughed at for publicly saying we're going to make EVs mass market affordable and here's how we're going to do it. Years later, the joke's on the people who were laughing at Tesla because now the entire auto market is shifting to electric cars. And if it wasn't for Tesla, this wouldn't have happened. 10 years later, Master Plan Part 2 came out. Deux is French for 2, for any of you who have never kissed a French person. Master Plan Part 2 came out in 2016. And one of the most important notes in this entire master plan says this right here. By definition, we must at some point achieve a sustainable energy economy or we will run out of fossil fuels to burn and civilization will collapse. Given that we must get off fossil fuels anyway, and that virtually all scientists agree that dramatically increasing atmospheric and oceanic carbon levels is insane. The faster we achieve sustainability, the better. So let's jump into the master plan from 2016 and see exactly what it had to say. Step 1, integrate energy generation and storage. This says create a smoothly integrated and beautiful solar roof with battery product that just work, empowering the individual as their own utility and to scale that throughout the world. One ordering experience, one installation, one service contact, one phone app. So basically 10 years later from when they wrote that first plan, Tesla has made massive advancements in using solar. As we can see right now, solar is popping up everywhere. And this is one of the big key things that Tesla wanted to get into because they knew that this is something that's going to be of the future. And right here on MBK, his channel, he even says that he hasn't paid for electricity in over a year using the Tesla solar roofs.
Hi, my name is Marquez Brownlee, and I have not paid for electricity in a year.
So this goes to show that this is actually working. A very, very good thing to buy for your house would be solar. Step number 2, expand to cover the major forms of terrestrial transportation. And in this one, a small note inside of it that caught my eye says, in addition to consumer vehicles, there are 2 types of electric vehicles needed, heavy-duty trucks, which is the Cybertruck, and high-performance density urban transport. Now, that right there, high density urban transport, you could probably wonder yourself, is Tesla going to be doing city transportation? The answer is yes. What people don't know is that the Boring Company is going to have a major part in this. The Boring Company has been boring holes underground in Las Vegas, Nevada, where they have a tunnel loop that Tesla vehicles go through. And basically it cuts the time in half for you driving up on the city. It's underground. So the idea is that Tesla, what they're going to do is build a underground transportation, basically like a subway, where it's going to be a vehicle cart that just jumps on an electric track and it falls into play with all the other ones. And basically up to 10, 12 people will be inside of this. And if it's in major city areas, it will densely cut down the time that people would have to drive on the roads or maybe take buses that are stacked up or trains. This is going to be a whole new avenue of people being able to travel, something we've never seen before. Next up is autonomy. Now this would be the full self-driving. This has gone so much further than what people could have imagined. Back in the day when it was 2016, people would turn their head out of it. No one really thought about it. But now here in 2024, a lot of the people who have been using full self-driving since it came out are getting more and more surprised at how human-like, which is the main word that they all say, it's getting more human-like, better and better at driving by itself. It's learning through neural nets. not learning through coding. This is the thing that is setting it apart from other companies like Waymo and Cruise. So basically, the autonomous part of their mission is a really huge stack, and it's going to be the thing that changes everything from the way that we consider traveling in automobiles. And finally, would be sharing. Now, this is going to be the part that blows people's lids off their heads, okay? The sharing is basically Tesla saying that you are going to be able to turn your car on when you're at sleep or at work or on vacation, and your car will be able to run around for you and make money. It's basically going to be a driverless taxi. This is going to be the thing that shifts people into realizing what autonomy is really capable and what Tesla's really capable of doing. So basically, if you were to buy a Tesla and you were to go to sleep or be at work or on vacation, you just press a button and your car will just go out into the city, pick people up, make you money while you're doing literally nothing with the car. This is basically going to pay for the car without it just sitting there and you paying insurance and all that stuff on it. This is going to be the thing that takes buying a car to the next level. It's a car that pays for itself. Also, another interesting thing is that Tesla was speaking about making the machine that makes the machine. This is basically the idea of making a car factory that builds cars faster. And when they figure that out, they'll be able to license that to other car companies. Now, this is next level thinking, being able to construct a factory that builds cars faster and leasing and licensing out that technology. So instead of Tesla worrying about building cars, they're figuring out how to build factories that build cars faster, and then they will sell that idea. This, ladies and gentlemen, is unheard of. So let's recap what we've spoken about today. So in the master plan from 2016, the solar part has come true. Definitely been working on it. There are people who might have a little bit of complaints, but you can't please everybody. But for the most part, it is a successful part of the business that is in motion right now. People are buying up solar roofs, even if it's not with Tesla. This is just something that people have caught on to and recognize that they can start saving a lot more money by just buying a solar roof. And basically, they can sell the energy back to the grid in peak hours. So you're basically getting cheap solar, and sometimes you don't even have to pay for it. As far as making the factories that build cars quickly, Tesla's been working on that, and they're getting a lot closer to that, especially using the massive gigapress. They're the first company to actually have this from the Italian company in Italy called Idra. They are building the idea of making cars faster, and their next generation car, which is coming out at the end of next year, is going to be the fastest production car ever created. And as far as the tunnels underground, they have done some of that in Las Vegas, Nevada, but they are planning to extend all this technology for the underground cars, which lots of people will be using like subways. But instead of New York, this is going to be a futuristic way. And as if the subways in New York have been around for so long, this is going to be another, and I would say, safer thing that's going to be coming to market down the line. And as far as autonomy, FSD is still being worked on, but it's getting closer and closer to the point to where eventually people are going to start to realize this is actually working very well. And then Tesla is going to license that technology to other car companies, 100%. And I know that Ford is going to be the first company to probably jump on board. Then GM and whoever. Eventually, everyone's going to be using this technology because no one has anything close to the amount of data that Tesla has when it comes to full self-driving. So not too long from now, this will be a thing. And then years out in the future, I'm sure it will be pretty much regulated that we have to be in cars that are self-driving because humans are the ones that get the most accidents, not the automobile. And also when it comes to the sharing, when your car goes out and drives by itself, this also depends on autonomy. So basically when autonomy is solved, Tesla is going to be in another league of their own. And I would tell this, if you're buying Tesla stock, you're going to be happy in the future. I know I am. I've been buying Tesla stock since 2020, and I'm going to continue to be buying for the next 15 years or so. But pretty much Tesla has had a master plan of what they're going to be doing for years. Let's see what their next master plan is going to be about. I think they actually already have a master plan part 3, but it's the 4. That's the one that I'm looking to see. Well, that's the end of this video. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow. I post videos daily about what's going on in Tesla, big tech, the automotive industry, and all sorts of things. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. See you tomorrow.